Hello there. The purpose of this screencast is to walk you through Google Tour Builder and tell you a little bit about what it is. To begin, it is a way to tour places around the world where you can pick the locations on a map, you can add photos, videos, text, things like that. And then once you've built your tour, you can share it with others. I thought it was neat to think about how this even came about. So, as I was researching Tour Builder, I read that Google originally created Tour Builder to give veterans a way to record all the places that military service had taken them and preserve their stories and memories as a legacy for their families. And then they also thought it'd be a useful tool for anyone with a story to tell. So, that's why they opened it up to us as well. So, I thought that was a neat story behind where it started. So, a few things before we get started. Using Tour Builder, you do have to be signed into your Google account when you create a tour, and that's just so that it gives a place to save your tour, and so it's easy to share with others. But when you're viewing someone's tour, you don't need to be signed in if they've shared it directly with you through email, or you can make it public. By default, like most things with Google, your tour is going to be private. And once you're finished editing it, you can click share your tour and you can share it with specific people via email, or you can make it public so that anyone can find it. You also can go back and edit or update your tour after you've created and shared it. If you want to go back and make any changes, you are able to do that. Now, there's 3 different types of tours. And on your main tour introduction panel page, on the very first one, you'll be able to decide what type of tour you want to do. There's story, hub, and disabled. So a story tour is where it's going to draw the lines between each place mark that you drop, each pin that you drop, in a linear storyline. So you stop 1, and then it's going to have a yellow line to where your next stop is, and so forth. Hub is the next option, and this allows you to create a central place mark with lines spiraling outward to surrounding place marks. And then the last one is disabled, which just takes away the lines between place marks. And this would be so maybe your story isn't necessarily in a specific amount of time, it's not tied to a timeline, but you just want to point out different locations. So that would be disabled. So you can think about the type of tour that you want to build: story, hub, or disabled. As I was reading online for some ideas for ways to use Tour Builder in your classroom, here's a few that I came up with. So you could have yourself or students create virtual field trips. You could tour a country or city that you're studying or reading about. You could build a you build a tour around a great explorer, create a map of locations of live animal webcams, show locations from a historical novel, create an architectural tour, research holidays and create a tour featuring the countries in which they originated, create a tour featuring locations of endangered animals. You could tour famous landmarks. You could show locations of historical events, create a tour of your top spots in your city or your community. You could use it to tour hometowns of famous artists. You could use it to tour students' summer vacations where they went. Those of you who do Flat Stanley, you could tour where Flat Stanley's traveled. If you wanted to create a tour of something on the current events, you could do that, that they're reading in the news, create locations of special events, create a tour based on weather and locations of, for example, the Underground Railroad, and tour migration paths of animals. So that's a whole bunch of ideas that I found on this blog that's linked here, but those are just to get your wheels spinning about ways to use it. If you want to see some examples of tours before you get started, they do have a gallery. So when you log into Tour Builder, you can click on the button there I've circled in red called Gallery, where these are public tours that other people have created that you can look at if you would like, and where to get started. So you're going to go to tourbuilder.withgoogle.com to get started and sign in and build your first tour. So there's a little bit of background about Google Tour Builder and what it is. Thanks.